Hello there, good evening. My name is Ishraq,
I am Rahman.
and welcome to the very first episode of the Mid-Row Guys.
All right, all right.
All right, so just a little bit of introduction as to why are we starting this podcast. Well, it's for our volunteerism course, since we can't really do it physically outside with the current pandemic going on outside there. So we have decided to add a little bit of a digital touch to it, and yeah, here we are. What do you think about it, man?
And I would like to also add on that a little bit
All
because the
right.
name, right? The name Mid-Row Guys.
Yeah.
The origin of the name is actually because Ishraq and I, and a bunch of other friends that are
Yeah.
hopefully will be making their way to this podcast quite soon. We always have this tendency to sit in mid rows during our classes and our lectures. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's crazy. It's like no matter what lecture hall or whatever bilik kuliah we're in, like we're always sitting in the same like middle section. So I guess
Exactly.
I guess it's a pretty catchy name. Just name it the middle guys.
Just a very nice position.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I guess that sums up the introduction.
Yeah. So I'll just get right into it. Like I just want to ask, man. Like,
All right.
how are you? How are you? You know.
All right. I think I mean I've seen better days, but yeah, I'm slowly coping with you know.
Me too, brother. Me too. Like, you're not the only one over there. I mean,
That's
this thing really takes us by storm, huh? This
that's
pandemic,
true.
this COVID-19 pandemic.
That's true. I think the very first step that we should embrace in ourselves is the acceptance, and slowly accepting that this is actually happening in our lives.
Right, right. And also, if you would have told me like a few months ago that we all be sitting in our homes,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything shifted to being online,
Exactly, man.
and we wouldn't see each other for like God knows how many more months. You know,
Who knew? Who'd ever
who would
knew
have
that
thought? Yeah.
March. I remember it was March the 15th on Friday. It was during vibration class that we had our very last class for this semester,
Yes.
actual live class.
Yes. And I remember what I said to you, like, because you always like drove me back to my college, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember telling you, I'll see you on Monday. That Monday never come. That Monday never
I
come.
mean,
Yeah.
I felt that something was a bit off. I mean, like not
Yeah.
when you said it, but I felt like is this actually going to happen? Is Monday actually going to happen with all of this happening during that time? Of course, I had my
Exactly.
doubts. I had my initial doubts, but never did I thought that it would have come to this stage.
Yeah, man. I mean, thank God, like I managed to actually cut my hair before Monday.
Yeah, man, I haven't to be honest, I haven't cut my hair since
Uh,
February, and I've been keeping my beard ever since. And I'm trying
it's,
to, and as you can see right now, in my default picture right now, DJ Khaled, I'm trying to grow a beard like him. Hopefully, I'll succeed, and if I don't, yeah, I'll just shave it off.
oh man. I mean, yeah, I remember my last haircut. I did something very similar to what Tommy Shelby did in Peaky
Ah,
Blinders.
uh-huh.
I went like full on like bald on my sides and the back,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and just like keep like just a little bit of hair on the top,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Did you get the
So
flat cap as well?
no, because I didn't manage to get the flat cap. I didn't manage to get the flat cap. Yeah. But it has been 2 months, and my hair is like it's still on a
Mhm.
quite it still
It's a
looks good.
mess.
It's still yeah.
Oh,
It's
it
still
still
really
looks
a
good.
mess. Yeah, it
Okay,
still
that's a
looks quite
blessing.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
a
it looks
blessing.
presentable at least. You know what I
That's
mean?
good. That's good. But then again, who are we to present it to our except ourselves?
Exactly. Exactly, man.
I mean, like, yeah, coming back, I mean, 2020 would definitely sound different, though. I mean, if you were to mention it after this.
I would have never thought, man. I would have never thought, like to be honest.
Yes,
2019 was such a good year.
it was, yeah,
All things
it had
considered,
its ups and
yeah.
downs.
2019 was such a good year. And we for sure took it for granted. We took it,
Definitely,
yeah. We took a lot of
definitely.
things for granted. And
Yes.
just looking back, I mean, I used to hate going to morning classes. I dread 8 a.m. classes.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like what I wouldn't
You
give
miss it.
just for another session, just for another mid-row guys physical session. You know what I mean?
It's not the classes that I miss. It's just that that sense of being with everyone, being with your brothers. Sharing those little jokes, the laughter. It's those
Yeah,
little things that
yeah,
matter. It's not
yeah,
about the academical
yeah.
content, but
I mean,
having that sense
it
of
is about
camaraderie.
it is about academic content. Like,
Of course,
don't get it wrong. Yeah,
that's the
we
whole
gotta
purpose of
study.
doing
You
the
know what I mean? Yeah,
classes.
we gotta study.
Yeah,
But like study, you can study at home. You can study anywhere.
definitely.
Yeah, but you
But
can't.
studying with friends, with
Oh,
brothers,
yeah,
that's a different
yeah.
experience.
Mm. I remember that like this. You remember instrumentation class? Oh
Yeah. That was
man,
last semester.
like
Uh-huh.
I I remember like a couple of times actually me and my group mates we've actually had to stay up like in the laboratory up until like 2 a.m. just finishing our
Oh,
model,
long
and
hours.
I dread that experience. But looking back, I would do it all over
I
again.
miss
Like
it.
I'd do it all over again. You know what I
You'll
mean?
exchange anything for that, for this.
Yeah, yeah. You know. Yeah.
What would you give, just to turn back time for just a little while to
Yep.
enjoy those little moments
Uh-huh.
back? Yeah, there's no guarantee we're gonna get it back, though.
Yeah.
There's
You remember
absolutely no
our
guarantee.
you remember our IDP exhibition, that mini exhibition we had for our
Yeah,
IDP?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was in December. Yeah.
Ah. I miss that real bad right now.
Well, I mean, definitely sweet memories. Definitely sweet memories.
Sweet memories, man. Sweet memories.
Sweet
Yeah.
memories.
I remember like just carrying the tables and the chairs all the way from
Yeah,
Block
yeah.
U.
I mean, like, I don't really agree with the setting of having the IDP exhibition. I mean, it could have been conducted somewhere conducive, somewhere comfortable, somewhere convenient, such as in ODU. But for
Yep.
some odd reason, somehow we, the students, are made to, carry. But, it was a good experience anyway. But something that personally, on a personal level, I don't really enjoy it. But, being with everyone else on that fateful day, it was a blessing in disguise.
Oh, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Yeah,
Like you had no
definitely.
idea. Like I would go back like 100 times. I'll go
That's
back
true.
100 times.
That is true.
Just to
And
experience it again.
there is no guarantee we're gonna have such exhibitions after this. I mean, for all we know, it's gonna be at 100% online, digitized. Like right now, we're looking at ourselves in front of a screen. That's it.
That really makes me sad. Like it's such a downer to think of
That's
that.
true. But the
But hey,
means and
man,
modes. Yeah,
there's gotta be a light at the end of the tunnel, right?
yeah, man.
And
Silver lining.
yeah,
Hopefully.
you gotta stay positive in these tough times. Which actually
Yep.
like begs the question, like, what have you been doing like to stay positive? What have you been doing?
A lot. I mean,
Maybe,
truthfully, truthfully
yeah.
speaking, before the online classes kicked in, I was playing games almost every night. I was playing CS:GO every single day from 12 to 2. I haven't been playing the game for the past couple of years, and recently I got myself addicted back with the adrenaline rush, with the competitiveness of the game, and yeah, I mean, it got me to the point that I neglected my studies for about a month. I didn't really give a thought, or the assignments, the tests. I mean, yeah, naturally they didn't have any sort of academic lessons throughout that one sabbatical month, I would say. And yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago we started our lessons, and I'm slowly grasping, clawing my way back into reality, and slowly reducing my time for gaming, and for trying to find that equal balance, between both gaming and studying. So yeah, that's what pretty much I've been doing for the past 1 month. How about you, man?
Ditto, man, ditto. Like, to be honest with you, like during the first month of it, like I was kind of like figuring things out, like okay, what I want to do, because I know I had like this feeling that this whole quarantine thing, it's not gonna go like just like that. You know what I mean? It's gonna last for some time, and I gotta be prepared. I gotta start actually planning out activities to help me stay productive, stay
Uh-huh,
fit,
uh-huh.
stay sane, and just stay functional.
Hmm.
And yeah, it has been good so far. I've been learning some new skills. I've enrolled in online classes, and now since the
That's
lect
good.
yeah, and since now the lecture weeks have started again, I've been trying to get back in my studies and start doing the assignments and so forth. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll say all things considered, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So far so good, eh?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, so far, like, you haven't had like yourself getting drifted into something that you totally never expected yourself to get into, and you're just like struggling, just to get back to your original self. Ever experienced that moment?
I wouldn't go as far as that. No, no, I
Okay,
would,
okay,
yeah.
I guess that was just me, I guess.
But hey, man, like, I mean, it's different for each person. Like
That's true.
the degree of your struggle, the degree of what you're going through, like in these times of, well, no one could have imagined like we would all be locked up inside our homes for God knows how many more months. But definitely, yeah, I struggle too. I'm not breezing through this quarantine,
That's true.
and I'm just trying to make best of whatever has been given to me. Just trying to
Mm-hmm.
make do,
That's true.
and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like as long as we all keep going, that's all that matters in the end, right?
That's true, man.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, preach, man, preach.
Yeah. Have you like been in touch with your friends, like with all the other friends, all the other guys? You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
mean, keep in touch with you, of course.
Oh yeah. We share memes every single day. So like,
Yeah, man. I mean,
yeah,
like, we don't really like, for you, for the audience out there, if you're wondering, we don't really like, it doesn't really mean that you have to stay connected with your friends through conventional means. We also have other ways in connecting. I mean, like for me, for instance, I for one enjoy sharing memes, and through memes alone, there are lots of
yeah.
hidden connections that you can discover with your fellow friends. And yeah, I guess those are one of the ways for you to establish such connections.
Exactly. Meme is like the new language of the internet. So
Definitely meme. And you know what? We should definitely come up with a meme related podcast. Definitely not now, but in the coming days.
you mean like a meme review, like
Yes,
kind
yes.
of
I
thing?
mean,
Yeah.
the meme, what's the latest trend, the very science behind the memes, the meanings, the layers behind the memes. Sometimes it's just not entirely humorous. It's also educational at the same time.
We should. We should. Like,
Like I even keep myself informed with the what's going on in the outer world through memes, and I don't even use news. I don't even use social media, but the memes keep me up to date, and this is definitely something that we should consider to give it a bit of discussion. Definitely for the next episodes, the coming episodes.
totally, man. Now that you mention memes, I can't. It's just like my mind started going now. Like, you shouldn't have mentioned memes just now.
Yeah,
That's all I can think
yeah,
about.
that's the very
Yeah.
idea. Keep
Yeah.
yourself busy, keep yourself distracted throughout this pandemic.
Yeah.
Don't stay idle. Don't stay, you know, don't stay like you have nothing else to do. You gotta keep yourself busy.
Totally.
That's what
But
I'm
then
trying.
again, like, don't get too distracted to a point where you
That's
neglect your
true. Or else you'll be like
responsibilities.
me for the past 1 month.
I hope things get better, man. I hope things get better.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I'm slowly getting it. I mean, like, I think the important thing is to realize that you're drifting apart and you're doing your very best to get back to your original self. I think that's the most important lesson that you have to understand, at least for myself.
Yeah, and again, coping with the new normal because
Yep,
I feel like this thing is gonna change our lives for at least the next year.
definitely, no
What would
doubt.
you say like an optimistic? What would you say an optimistic prediction
I think
of this thing would be? Yeah.
I think this would last. At least the after effects would last even after our graduation, up to our, maybe even during our
Uh,
working period, working career life. I mean, it will still be there, and there's no guarantee that this whole ordeal will just end just like that. Uh, you know, Definitely, like you said, this is a new normal that we have to get ourselves adjusted to. So yeah, I mean, lots of bumpy rides ahead. But if we're in this together, if we keep positive mindset, I'm sure we can get through this.
Yeah, and I like how you mentioned positive mindset because being optimistic is just it's pretty much like the best thing you can do right now
That's true.
in this
Like DJ Khaled always said, bless up, man, bless up,
bless up, bless up.
bless up,
Always bless up.
bless up.
Um, do you think like we will actually like this is something that I've been like thinking about
Yeah.
how how we as a society, right? Like how we as a
Society.
society how we as a society will actually like change moving forward, you know, how
Yeah.
things are being conducted, how generally things are being conducted. Do you see like us changing our way of life uh after like say we recover from this global pandemic?
This is quite a broad question, a broad concept, and
Uh-huh.
there are a lot of things that I could discuss about this. But I will try to narrow it down since we are currently undergraduates, the same university of the same course.
Yeah, yeah.
Academic wise, I don't think that lessons after this would be the same. With the manner, with respect of the method of the classes being conducted. I mean, if you heard the recent news, we're gonna have our classes especially for the next sem, 100% online. So
Yeah.
that's that's a drastic change. I mean, truth be told, I expected that next sem, things would get back to normal. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. I just wish that
So
at least for the last semester we'll have a physical class back.
yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
praying, just for the last.
Yeah. At least last
I
semester,
just I'm
man.
just wishing and praying that for the last semester, because who would have thought that March the 15th, mid March would be the last day for us to meet each and every one of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping that for the last semester for our course we can get meet each and everyone else under new normal conditions, of course.
Yeah. It's a heavy
Are you
subject,
there?
man. It's a heavy
Yeah,
subject for sure.
I'm
And
really happy, man.
very, very heavy. Quite bleak when you think about it, right?
Hmm.
It's just
That's true.
sometimes I feel like now the best thing to do is just accepting whatever condition you're
Accepted.
in,
Yep.
just say it
Hmm.
is what it
That's
is.
true.
Whatever
Hmm.
happens, it's the best thing that could happen to you right now.
True.
Stay
Hmm.
patient, like don't do anything crazy, don't do anything stupid.
Got
And
to
try
be
to make the
optimistic
most.
throughout these tough times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's all there is to
That's
it.
true.
Hmm.
That's all there is, man. That's all
Yeah.
there is.
Uh-huh.
Positivity, man. We gotta get a lot of those. We gotta need more of those
Hmm.
in the coming days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because things like this, man, like I actually kind of have like a theory, like about why
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
happens.
yeah.
I see this as sort of like a mechanism for natural selection, for the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
natural
yeah.
selection process. You know what I mean? As cruel
Yeah,
as it sounds, I feel like Mother Nature has had enough of us. We've been we've been very neglectful of our duties and responsibilities
that's true,
as
man.
human member, as a human
Uh,
being. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
it feels like we are forced to be participants of this game without our consent.
Yeah. It's like
I mean,
a
like,
few.
like it or not, we are facing it right now.
Mhm. It's like a few bad apples, you know what I mean? And
That's
the
true.
entire batch gets the worm.
Bro. That's true, man. That's true. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing at this. Owing to how serious this matter is, but
But you just
just
can't help it, man. Like it's just such an
yeah. I mean, normally
yeah.
people will be just serious. They'll be, be quite sorrow.
Uh-huh.
They'll be sad talking about
Yeah.
these things. But I don't know why. Maybe even including yourself. Like, we talk
It's
about
just
this,
yeah.
we laugh.
It's just such an
You know.
unthinkable like thing to happen, you know what I mean? It's such an
Yep. True.
unthinkable thing to happen. Um and we just serve like we didn't do anything wrong, right? Like technically, I
What did we
mean,
do to deserve this?
what did we do
What did
here?
we do? I mean, it all started with one guy allegedly
Eating a bat, you know what I mean?
breakfast. He
just
drank a
some,
bad soup.
yeah, some crazy guy
And it
eating
all
bad soup. Yeah,
yeah,
and he
man.
just spiral out of control.
Exactly. I mean, like nobody asked for this. Hey, I didn't even ask for this, you know.
And that's the thing, and that's the crazy thing about this.
But if you ask me, you know, if there's any like blessing in disguise from this, you know, academic wise, I find it, you know, I mean, like I'm quite grateful because uh, looking at the current subjects and the credit hours that we're currently undertaking for this particular semester alone, you know, I mean, if we were to do it, if we were to conduct it under normal circumstances, definitely I think we would be facing enormous challenges, logistic wise, academic wise. And right now, since we're experiencing under new conditions, such as the new normal right now, maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel, you know. Maybe we could improvise things. Maybe we'll have it easier in a sense. That's what I'm hoping for.
For me, I know there is a blessing in disguise, like amongst all of this. I feel
Amen
like
to that, man.
yeah, I feel like I'm more focused and on doing things that I would normally would have
Mhm.
done. You know, for example, it's Ramadan right now, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like
Ramadan.
Ramadan to you know.
That's another meme reference, you know.
Yeah.
Rewatch. Okay, so you were saying,
But
man?
yeah, man. Usually, what happens during my Ramadan is that like I really don't have time to really focus on my religious
Mhm,
duties. You
mhm.
know,
That's true.
like spending
Mhm.
some time reading the Quran,
Yep,
prayers,
yep.
supplications, recitations, and so on. But now I feel like I'm more focused on doing those kinds of stuff because I'm just stuck. I mean, I don't really have anywhere else to go, anywhere else to be. So it gives me some time to reflect upon
Mhm.
just that
What better
one
way
of
to spend time rather than doing it with God Himself, you know?
yeah, and just realizing like how much time I've wasted.
Ah, man,
Yeah,
deep
how much
man,
time
that's deep.
I've wasted these past few years just being so distracted in the things
Mhm,
that really don't amount to much, don't
mhm.
really amount to much, but in the end, like here's this thing that actually amounts to something, and I've been neglecting it for years,
That's
and I'm
deep,
kind
man.
of glad that
And
I've discovered it now before it's too late. Yeah,
ah,
I know it's kind of
it's
deep,
like
but
this
like
little thing. Yeah, yeah. You were saying?
it's pretty deep, but like that's how I feel, man. Yeah, and I truly feel blessed. I truly feel blessed. Yeah,
Bless
yeah,
up, man. Bless up.
bless up, man. Yeah. So yeah, and to
Yeah,
others
I
out
would also
there.
like to add on to that. Yeah, you saying?
No, no, you were saying.
Yeah, yeah. I was just would like to add a bit. I mean, like previously, you know, we wouldn't be able to allocate enough time for these little things, these little precious connection that we have with our not with just with our own gods, but if for our respective gods. But right now, owing to the fact that we have an abundance of time, I think it's always a good move to reconnect ourselves spiritual wise. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is
Mhm.
the wise thing you could do. Like, you cannot spend your time in a better way than trying
That's
to
true. That's
rekindle your
true.
relationship with God. Yeah,
That is definitely true.
yeah.
Damn, this is deep, man.
It is deep. It is deep.
Deep
We're getting
territory,
on
that.
like yeah, we're getting on some heavy subjects right now. I don't really want to get this podcast on the wrong foot. Like,
Mhm.
some
Definitely, it's about the pandemic, there.
for the pandemic, man. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, our topic is coping with
uh,
the pandemic. So
yep.
yeah, if you're starting on quite a somber note, like, I'm quite sorry, but
Yeah, man. Positivity, man. Let's keep on the
positivity. Yeah,
positive side.
let's keep on positivity. You know what I
Right,
mean?
man.
Like,
Let's get the laughter. Let's get the smiles out. You know
get
what I'm
the
saying?
smiles. Let's get the smiles, man.
Man.
Because I feel like this podcast more than anything, like, we're trying to build. At least for me, like, my personal goal is want to try to build a positive community like around this, so that
Mhm.
like, because we're just a bunch of friends talking to each other about some stuff,
That's true.
and
That's true. A noble feat, I would say. A
yeah, and
noble
we'll
feat.
feed. I would say, yeah, and well, thank you for that. And
Mhm.
essentially, yeah, we're still figuring this out. This is still a pilot podcast, and
Yep.
hopefully, like, if things get better and we welcome any feedback. If you guys have any feedback on how we can improve this podcast, it'll be great.
You're more than welcome.
We're more than welcome. Yeah, we would definitely
That's,
appreciate it.
that is true.
Yeah, and
And yeah,
I feel like more than anything now, we could all really use a friend
yeah,
in these
man, that
times of
is true, man.
pandemic. Yeah,
You might not see your friend in real life, but your friend is always there, technology
yeah,
wise. I mean, like, you could reach them, through these
yeah.
means.
Reach us, like if you're, if you don't have anyone
Yeah,
to talk to. Yeah.
if you need a couple of years, we're more than willing to donate ours,
Mm,
figurative wise.
yeah. So again, I think like just as a closing note for this podcast, I just want to say,
Hmm.
stay positive. You know,
Yep, yep. We're all in the same boat.
stay
We're
positive.
all in the
Yeah,
same
stay
boat.
positive.
Yep.
That's really like the best we can do now to cope with the situation. Things are not looking really good right now, but there's always gonna be a little light at the end of the day. Sorry, a little light in the end of the
Little
tunnel.
light,
What
yes,
am I
yes.
thinking, man? Thinking, yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah,
it's almost midnight. It's natural, though. It's
yeah,
about to
yeah.
happen. It's
Uh-huh.
only night.
By the time we record this, it's midnight, so bear with
Yeah.
us.
And by the time, if you have reached this far,
Oh, if you've reached this far, man, yeah, if you've reached this far, like we couldn't thank you enough for your support.
yep,
We
we
really,
appreciate
really,
it.
we really appreciate it. We could really
Bottom
use
of
the
our
views.
heart. Like, if I could hug you right now, I would.
Yeah.
Whoever you're watching this right now. But of course, social distancing.
So it's
Remember,
this thing,
practice that,
yeah. Remind yourself, stay positive, stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
Have a optimistic outlook of the future, and
Mm-hmm.
keep on doing what you're doing.
That's true. Remember, it's not just you, it's
It's
us.
not just
We're in
you,
this
man. We're
together.
all in this together.
We're
We
in
are
this
all in this
together,
together.
right? We'll hold our hands together, figuratively,
Yeah,
Slowly, we'll get ourselves to the other side of
yeah.
the
We
journey.
yeah. Things will get better. So just hang in
Amen.
there.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
All right. So that concludes it for the pilot episode of this podcast. I'm
Yep.
Rahman.
I'm Ishraq,
We are
and
signing off.
we'll see you in the next one,
All
hopefully.
right.
Till the next time.
Till next time.